Yeah, and I'm really glad we have the chance to do this today. JibuDocs is a tool that can be quite powerful, has a number of different functionalities. Not all of it is immediately obvious when you're using it, maybe like how it goes beyond just a simple search experience. So I have a few main goals today. One is to kind of take you through the examples with as much as possible real kind of examples of like kind of showing you how it might look on a day-to-day basis to use JibuDocs to the fullest extent. I'd also like to talk a bit after that about beyond case research. There's a lot that JibuDocs can do. The core capability works with any document. So there's some scenarios like, for example, knowledge management, maybe something with the library, where you can actually use JibuDocs to digitize a set of documents and make it fully kind of queryable by everybody, as well as analytics, which is something that we're focusing on recently and is very exciting. So that will keep towards the end. So if you think about, let's say you're in the middle of a dispute, say, and you are looking for a specific case, there's a few different ways that could work. So maybe you already know the case you're looking for. Maybe you know the citation because it was, referenced to, by the opposing counsel, say, and you can search for the citation on Google. You'll maybe quickly find something off Kenya law. That is relatively straightforward if you already know the case that you're looking for. But a lot of the time, we don't. Maybe I know the dynamics, there's a very specific issue, and I want to find all of the cases where that specific issue is present. That's a bit harder. Or maybe I'm looking for cases that were, maybe settled a specific type of way. That's a lot harder because you don't just know the citation, you don't necessarily know exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for a case with a certain set of characteristics. I think that's a lot of the time what we're looking to do, and JibuDocs can make that type of research quite a lot kind of faster. If we think about maybe the typical flow, let's say, as an example, I'm looking for a board of directors maybe being removed and I want to find some, the legality of it. So maybe I'll search some keywords. This is before JibuDocs, by the way. Maybe I'll search for some specific keywords. I'll get a whole bunch of results, many, many thousands of results. I'll pick one document, I'll now have this big case in front of me. I'll have to read through the whole thing. More chances are it's not even relevant. Maybe it's a criminal case. And then I go to the second case, read through the whole thing. I'll just kind of keep going. I'm spending a lot of time reading documents which might not be relevant. Let's say I find a few, maybe 2 or 3 cases that are relevant. I download them for deeper reading later, but that search result had, many, many thousands. It's far from comprehensive. And so if you actually were to break down the time spent, I'm really spending a lot of time on documents that aren't even that relevant. So I want to show how you can use JibuDocs to improve that experience and spend a lot less time reading things that are not relevant and spend more time, once you actually download the document, very quickly getting to the documents that are relevant that you actually can use. So what I recommend everyone to do is to, rather than kind of thinking through all the different things you can do in JibuDocs, always start simple. So I'm going to start like the simplest thing I can imagine. There's a search bar here, share, premium, and I'm going to hit search. So this will be largely similar to kind of most other search experience you have. It's going through the entire document for all of the documents in the repository, and it's finding references to the keyword share and the keyword premium. It'll pick the highlighted values from it. But already just kind of scrolling through, I can already tell this is not quite what I want. Share and premium, they might be spread out through the document. We kind of want share premium as a phrase. So the first thing I'll show is that you can put quotes around it. And then now it's only going to search for terms where it's like share, premium, one right after the other. And if I rerun this search, you'll see that even from the snippets, we're getting only where they're a direct phrase, share followed by premium. There are a lot more advanced search functionalities other than these quotes. We have a user, I won't go through all of them since I don't think you need to know all of them. Maybe if you are, you really want to dive in, but some of them are quite cool. For example, you can say this word needs to appear nearby this word, but not like right next to each other. You can include this word, but exclude that one. You can say this keyword or this keyword. So those are all in our user guide, which I believe you should have. So I mentioned I was looking for share premium, but not just any reference to share premium, maybe a tax treatment of share premium. And it's not super easy. I can read the highlights, but it's not immediately obvious just from reading the results. So maybe I might have to read these individual documents to find what's relevant. But that's what we want to avoid. I feel like when you actually get to reading the full document, it should almost certainly be relevant, ideally, if you're using JibuDocs. So the first thing I'll show is this button right here at the bottom right of every single card. It says Edit Card. Single card. It says Edit Card. If I click on it, you'll see all of the different fields that are attached to each case. So in JibuDocs, we go through every single case and we extract lots and lots and lots of different information fully automatically. And it's honestly too much to show on the page at one time. So we limit it to just some few items, few fields, which you can see here that we find interesting, like the courts, the prevailing party, the decision date. But if you're using JibuDocs, I really want you to know that you can customize this experience. So in order for me to tell if this case is relevant or not, maybe I want to know the issues, right? I don't want to know that share premium was mentioned just somewhere in the document. I want to know the exact issue that, is similar to whatever issue I'm currently working on. Maybe I also would like to know the statute citation, right? That could also be interesting. And maybe even the sector, right? So maybe it's like a banking case or something like that. So once I click apply, you can already see that the search result card has updated. And all of a sudden, it's now much more easy for me to very quickly scan through my search results. For example, this is clearly a corporate case, right? So it's citing the Companies Act. The legal topic has been indicated as corporate. Maybe this isn't exactly what I'm looking for. And then you can just kind of really, this is property law, you can see the specific Civil Procedures Act, etc. So just trying to make it really easy to kind of parse through a very large number of documents if necessary, and only spend time on the ones that are actually focused on what you're looking for. Let's say I don't even want these corporate cases in my search results. That's when you get to filters. Every single one of these data points that you see here, and even the ones you saw here when I clicked Edit Card, all of them can also be applied as filters. So if you see legal topics here, you can see legal topics is also a filter on the left. So I can see here, of these, we've narrowed it down to 18 cases, 7 of them are tax cases. So I can click tax, and any other filters that I want. Maybe I'm only interested in ones that cite the Income Tax Act, for example, and then I can just click Apply Filters. The card, there are so many data points for every single case. You never know ahead of time exactly what you'd be interested in. So there's a button here, Find More Filters, where you'll be able to actually see everything. For example, if I wanted to filter by, let me see, maybe the tax type, right? I can just click it and it'll be added. And now that is an extra field that I can be filtering based on. You can see here, I have corporate income tax, I have CGT, I have withholding tax. The whole experience is very dynamic. And again, just always trying to get to that level where you can just very clearly articulate, I'm looking for a case with these characteristics, and very quickly narrow down to a very small number of cases that I actually will spend the time to, analyze and read through everything and all of the details. So let me apply that filter for tax. And you'll see it'll rerun the exact same search, share premium, sorry, I think I might not have selected it. Let me do that again. Legal topic, tax, apply. And then now you can see we've even further reduced to only the tax cases. It makes sense, right? I'm seeing TET cases mainly here, which is exactly what I would expect. Another thing that you can do is sort. So of all of these data points, many of them are are sortable. And all of them that are sortable will show up here on the right. So in this case, I'm mainly interested in, say, decision date. I want to see the most recent cases. I want the most recent case first and then going back historically. This ordering is wrong. If you want to switch it, you can just click here to change the direction. And now I can see the most recent case was actually quite recently. It was even just here in October of this year. So now you could say, okay, maybe these 7 I read fully, but not yet, because we also have automatic summaries generated for every single case within JibuDocs. So here, if I see just from these, short bit of information, it could be interesting, I can click and I can see an overview. I can see the specific tax type. So this is around CGT. I can see the key facts. I can see the years that were covered. You can see that the system is actually quite dynamic. So it'll automatically recognize that it's a tax case in this one, and extract all these tax specific fields. If it's a state law case, it'll have a different set of fields, like what was the total value of the state, etc. And it's very easy for us to add more fields. So I'm really interested in this. If you have an area of specialization, I don't know, corporate maybe, or IP law or something, and you have, I would really like this set of fields. Once it recognizes it's like an IP law or a corporate case or something, please let us know. They're very easy for us to add. At its core, JibuDocs is not just a tool for kind of extracting data from cases and allowing you to filter based on them. It actually works with any type of document. So you can already see that a little bit here. It can work with, say, contracts. It can work with, financial statements, invoices. It's actually a very general capability. For any set of documents, even if they're scanned PDFs without, any kind of text that's easily delectable, you can turn that repository of documents into a structured, queryable database with all of these filters, all of the kind of AI chat, all of the summaries, everything that I've shown here today. So it's really powerful, and it's very easy to do. And compared to, say, previous digitization efforts or options that you might have heard of before, the main differentiator is everything is 100% automated. You can just dump a large number of scanned PDFs and you'll build a repository just like this, which I think is very exciting. So one of the things that I like you to think about a little bit and consider is if you have use cases for, maybe like knowledge management or something, or some large, some repository of documents that you'd like, I don't want to read through everything. You'd like all of these capabilities to be applied. That is something that JibuDocs can very much do. And you can even do it yourself if you wanted to, right? So we have this kind of file browser experience. It is more or less what you would expect. So across the top, you'll see 2 buttons. The first one is the search page, and the second one is the file browser. So if I click file browser, it'll take you to a folder. This is like a demo environment. So let me just go here. It'll take you to an experience that is, I would say, pretty familiar if you've used something like Google Drive or OneDrive or other document management systems. You'll be able to create folders, upload files, all sorts of things. And the key difference in JibuDocs is any document that ends up here, like, some random fuel receipts, will go through the exact same processing pipeline as all of the cases do. It'll recognize the type of document. If it's an invoice, it'll do customer and supplier and total amount. If it's a contract, it'll find the different parties to the contract, and it'll extract all the relevant fields based on that. There's a list of kind of different types of documents we support. If there's a new type of document you want us to add, again, let us know. We're always trying to improve it, and you can make it searchable for everyone within the firm, and none of our other clients, and searchable with all of the features that we've shown today. Yeah, or you can have it only available to yourself, not within the firm. You can see here, so typically you'll have different users. Each user has their own kind of My Files folder, and then you can have an organization-wide folder that's shared with everybody. If you are interested in kind of like this use case of using it for kind of getting more value out of like maybe some internal information that you have, and making it into more of like a competitive advantage by making it easily accessible to everyone and searchable for everyone, that's absolutely something that we could help you set up, and JibuDocs is well placed to do that.